Hello everybody. It's such a beautiful day today. Look at those clouds. They're just hanging around. There's our local walk. Very nice in New Zealand, you know. Ain't it, Lula? Get the birds. Go on, get the birds. I might put the battery in that this morning and move it. I like to move it every now and again, just because this is the one with the broken piston. You know, I move it and clean it up, i.e. that spider's web. Well, I don't do a lot of that really. I move it just to keep the brakes working and the electric windows and the air conditioning. Otherwise all these things seize up. So I might just let me go and get a battery, and I'll it's been on charge. It usually only starts it once, and then there must be some little something's trickling it, because when you stick it on, when you put the battery on the terminals in there, there's a tiny spark. Oh, it's Pina. Hey, Pina. Meow meow. Meow meow. Meow meow. Oh, she wants a cuddle. Oh, oh. Yeah, so I'll go and get the battery for that. Right. One battery. Oh, these AGM batteries are so heavy. The lithiums are really light. This one weighs a ton. Hi, Lula. Okay, make sure I put it around the right way. Red to red, black to black. That's real awkward, look. What's going on? Oh, there we go. So there's the positive on. Now watch when the that goes on. You see it? Did you hear it? I didn't see it, but I heard it. Right. Put down the stick. I'm only going to close that once. Oh, I've got to get the keys. Scratching Lula. She's been fleed, so she shouldn't be scratching too much. She was scratching quite bad 2 weeks ago, and that's when I did the flea treatment. Keys. Here's the keys, and it has got, this fan has got a keyless start in it, but you need the keys with you, so that's kind of pointless. But what I'm going to do is start it with the key, which you can override the keyless system by starting it with the key, and that's locked up in here. There it is. And you've got to sit in it to start it. Now you'll hear why it's knackered. This is a there. Did you hear that when I start up? There's only 5 pistons working. Let's put the AC on. Auto AC is on. See it up now. Dum, dum, dum. I'll now bring it right down to 18. Whew. It's hot in here. Hot in summer now. It was a COVID mask. That's how long it's been off the road. So I just shut the door and I'll drive it around a little bit. I think I'll move it a little bit, get the handbrake off, and I'm going to put it into auto because it doesn't like. See how much there's no power in it. I mean, there's, you know, you can hear the engine going, but there's no actual power in it. I just missed my car. This is why I don't want to get rid of this car, because it is such a joy to drive. Even though it's dead at the moment, it is a real joy to drive. It's smooth, you got a high seating position, it's powerful when it's running, and it's just a joy to drive. I've got my foot on the brake there, but it's not doing a lot. There we go, let's stop. Put it in neutral. Warm the poor old engine up. There's Lula, look, she thinks she's going out. She'll wait for me. And now she's coming back in. So I've got the aircon on. I'll slow it down a little bit because it's a little bit noisy on full fan. And now I want to test the automatic door on the side. I've got to go slow across here because it's really bumpy, and I'll scrape the bottom and break something if I go fast. Oh, I'm in neutral, that's why I wasn't going anywhere. Watch out, Lula. Whoa. And that rosemary brush, I don't want to scratch it even more. So this is how you go broke when you have one car that goes wrong. So I borrowed the government grant of $10,000 to buy this because I didn't have a car for work, a van for work. So I owe 10 grand to the government to buy this. And then as soon as it's out of warranty, it blows a piston. And now it just needs a new engine. Otherwise, just get rid of it. So I've still got it. I've only been offered $700 for it as scrap. So that's not a lot of money. It's going to cost 5 or 6 grand to fix or put a new engine in, or reconditioned engine. And so that's 10 grand I've got to pay back, which I've no use for. So then I have to go and borrow another $10,000 to buy another car, and that's the Nissan X-Trail that I've got. So now I owe 20 grand, and I've only got one car. So I might as well have bought a car for 20 grand in the first place. But I can't pay back 20 grand, so you don't get that. You can only get what you pay back, what you can afford to pay back. That's our banking rules in New Zealand. You're not allowed to lend somebody money that they can't afford to pay back. So my income is low, obviously, because I'm self-employed. My tax returns don't show much, of course. Nobody's ever do when they're self-employed. And so that's that. That's about third time round, isn't it? It seems to be going all right today. Yeah, it seems to be behaving itself. It has power. I guess it's because it's a bit warmer. It's in four-wheel drive. I keep going really slow around this bit because, as you can see, it's so bumpy. So that's how you go broke when I'll park it again. Let's put it on the flat here. Neutral, handbrake on, park. Still running. I don't know how much petrol is in it. That's another thing that happened. The petrol gauge was working with a thump. Just there, it would work and go to its normal position wherever the petrol was, but then it stopped entirely in that position. So I have no petrol gauge, needs a new engine. The petrol light comes on, and that's my only indicator that I need petrol. We've got a petrol light that comes on there, this little guy. So I need a new dashboard. These are, thousands. So there's that. I mean, I should just bite the bullet and get rid of it, but I do love it. And it is useful. I can put all my tools in it. I can go away for the weekend in it as a camper. It does need a bit of modifications to become a better camper than it is. Like, I think I'll move the kitchen to the back of the van. At the moment, this is the kitchen. And I'll move that to the back of the van and go to a better sleeping position. And it's better to use the kitchen underneath the back tail instead of right up against the driver's seat here. See, because you basically cut off all your driving area when you're camping, and that just means you've only got that back area. Now I'm going to do my open close door. Where's that gone? Open close door. There it goes. Now what happens is, if it's not lubed up properly and is not in constant use, you can close it, but it won't lock. It senses resistance on its track, and then it will stop and go backwards. So here we go. That's to close. I'll show you what happens. If it does it first time, I'll be happy. There you go. It goes backwards. So what you've got to do is help it. This is what it sounds like. This is what it sounds like when doves cry. Oh, I've lost the thing. Oh, that's it, you've got to do it with your right hand. So that's what it sounds like. Not good. So we'll go to this door and activate the auto close. And now when it gets to here, I've got to push it. And that's got a pull-in closer. These doors don't have... there's a big spider. Hate spiders. These doors... see, that's auto. If I do this a couple of times, it seems to sort of lube the track up a bit more. Or wear the track in or whatever, I don't know. Out, go back in. Let's give it a little push. Back out again. Let's see if it goes. That's 3 times I've pushed it back in. No. I have tried spraying WD-40 down that track. It doesn't seem to make a difference. Once you've got it going again, it will work. But at the moment, it needs a bloody de-spider in. Could do with a wash as well. It's covered in pollen. Not surprising with all the trees around. That's all those trees there are the ones that cover the house in pollen, and the cars. And this is all pollen. Comes off easy enough, but if it's there for too long, it will sort of build up, and then you get moss growing on it as well. You know, I should wash my car sort of more often, but it's still not going in all the way. Come on. Spider in there. I don't want to open that anymore. Not going in there till I've sprayed it. It's a harmless spider, but creepy bastards don't like them. Whoop. I don't know. I don't think there's a lot of petrol in it, so it may just stop. Oh, look, it went on its own. Jamaica? No, she went of her own accord. I love that joke. So there it is. That's closing on its own now. Woohoo! See, it just takes a few, probably 6 or 7 goes to, and I try and do it as much as possible, but try not to, you know, do it too much so that you break it. It's the sort of thing you tell your kids not to do, isn't it? Stop doing that, you'll break it. Right, that's the camping setup in the back. There's a sink, which is too high, too low, blah blah blah. This unit is pretty cool. I gave the neighbours my car fridge yesterday because they didn't have a fridge up there. They're camping up there at the moment. But it's a 12-volt fridge, so I'm not actually sure if listen to the engine. Ooh, sounds rough. I'm not actually sure if they can get 12 volts on it, but this pump doesn't work anymore. It's got a dried valve in it. It's got a couple of little cupboards here. There was a fire extinguisher up there. There's a bin here, which has got to be in the regs. There's a cassette toilet in there, which has never been used. And there's a waste tank and a fresh tank. And then there's cupboards under here, and these all go right across. So you could put double bed in there. You know, you could have a double in there. Closing on its own. We'll get that passenger door closed and spray that spider. So this one is also, I hope there's no spider in there. This is another. See, I think the kitchen would be better back here, and then you get rid of that partition, and then you'll be able to either spin the passenger seat around. Oh no, I don't think you can do that in this one. No, that was the other van that I had. I don't think you can do that in there. See, there's all materials and tools for work in there, and I've only put these back in because I didn't want to store them in the house, but I had them in the house. And there's tools and shit in here which I used for work. And the nice thing about it, if you're building a house in the middle of nowhere, you've got a kitchen to make your smoko. So that's pretty good. That stinks too. When it's running, there's a fair bit of smoke coming through there, which is, you know, not good. Probably a sign the engine's buggered, which is good. Not good, I mean. And this one has got the soft close on it as well. That's pretty cool. But the downside is, if the battery's flat, you can't open the back door. If you wanted to get tools out of it or something. This one has got a soft close, but no auto. So this has got this side on it, but no auto. But it does have a soft close. See? It does work. So, am I going to... Yes, it needs a clean. This is the only real wear on the car there. And the steering wheel looks a bit buggered. I'm not even sure if the mileage is correct. It's 210 kilometres. It was quite high. It's quite high for a... You know, and it's reasonably old, so... But like I say, I love it. It's really fast. And it's lovely to be driving a van which is really fast. 2005 this was born, so it's 20 years old. Pretty good nick for 20 years old. That's something I did with my bumper, and round here there was a scratch on it somewhere else. So just back here there was a little scratch, that's all. The rest is reasonably good. The toe's all right. Oh, let's do the windscreen wipers. And whoa, ew. Shut the door. This is all the debris coming off the trees. Oh, it looks like it needs a bit of juice in there. Now ready, mist. Where's the rear? didn't put the rear on. Rear on. And that's the other thing about this partition, is you can't see out the back middle. So I'm going to go and have a look at the back. See if it's working. Oh yeah. Oh, it's working quite well actually. And that there, is that the camera? Oh no, here's the camera. I was really funny when I first got the van. I'd had the back one, I'd accidentally switched the back wiper on, and I was looking at when you got it in reverse, which I'll do now. The back camera comes on. Whoops, that's it. Didn't like that. The back camera comes on. Let's see if I can get it back on. It might not start. Now that's it. It usually only starts once. I think that battery's a bit knackered. So that's it. We've done our maintenance. Oh, I didn't do the electric windows. That's it. I'll have to wait till that battery's recharged now. And that's my L grand. That's how you end up 20 grand in debt. Well, I do have that car. And the logic is that if I spend 5,000 on this, it's now back worth being a $10,000 camper van, which is what they sell for. Ooh, they need a spruce up. They sell for $10,000, these ones, and this is four-wheel drive. So it will hold its value. Not only will it hold its value, but it's seasonal as well. These things are very attractive when all the tourists come to New Zealand around sort of Christmas. The start of the season is around November. Oof. And that will go on right up until May, when you get travellers coming to the country to buy camper vans. They drive around New Zealand living in them, and then they sell them and then they go home. They usually make a loss of about $2,000 or something like that, and they're quite happy to take that loss because they just see that as part of the expenses of the trip. Right, let's put him back on charge. Plug this one in now. There we go. Whole house is wired up with those. Oh, yes, I know. Bad, isn't it? One day, I'll get it fixed. Right, solar power is now charging that battery. So those batteries are charging that battery. Isn't it, Mr. Orange? Oh, Lula, what should we do? Well, that's done. A couple of things I've got to do on my list today. Apart from moving those panels over to there, that's a sort of one-day job. I mean, it's not not that's going to take one day. I will do it one day. The mower, I'd love to fix. The mower, I'm pointing up there because the mower's in that shed up there, and it's got a broken belt. And I need to tip it upside down to do it, and I'm scared to do it because it's back-breaking stuff. I've already got a broken back, so I'd love to have it working again though, and get all this mowed down nice. Looks nice when it's mowed. Anyway, the next door's kids came down the other day, and I was kicking myself that I didn't have the camera. They're all sort of teenagers, young teenagers, and they came down to play in the rock pools over there. I've got some rock pools in a stream just behind that paddock there. And they came down there to play in them. Took the dogs with them and etc. It was quite good fun. And as we were coming out, Tim, my neighbour, he's the dad, spotted a moorpork, which is a New Zealand brand of owl. And you often hear them at night. They go, moorpork, moorpork. That's their call. And there was one right there. They're a small owl, about maybe 10 inches high. And it was just sitting on the branch right near us, just staring at us. The creepy thing about owls is they've got front-facing eyes like us, you know. So they must look at us compared to other birds and think that we're creepy looking animals with front-facing eyes. Weirdos. Anyway, it was lovely to see one. As I say, so I've never seen one, but you hear them all the time, especially in the night when you don't really want to go out looking for them. Yeah, they've got a lovely little sound. Whoop, whoop. And this is my oak tree. I think I've showed you that before. Lula, get the birds. Get them. Get the birds. Here she goes. There's a bit of a lackluster effort, Lula. You're back already. Hey, what was that all about? Come on. Get him. Going the wrong way, girl. Come on, get him. Get the birds. That's better. She's 13 now, so there's no point in training her anymore. I've tried to get her to run all the way down the bottom and all the way back up, but she only goes sort of halfway, half the time. And yeah, so I planted this oak tree from an acorn. Isn't it wonderful what you can do if you plant something? Look at the size of it. Classic oak tree, isn't it? There's a couple more around as well. We planted 5, and 2 of them died. No, we've got 3 of them died. We've got 2 left. There was one, just the smaller one, just there next to it, but my house sitter chopped it down. There was a big dead tree here, and he chopped that down as well. He's in a right old time chopping stuff down. Anyway, there's my Land Rover. There's another project. How many projects have we got? Too many. This is my pile of dirt, which that's on the list as well. So maybe when I sell that bit of land, we can start doing projects, because we'll have the money to do them, and the time. I've got the time right now, but everything is costs a lot of money to do stuff, so we don't do it. You know, it's always a trip down to Bunnings to buy something that you need to finish a job. So you've got to think about what you're doing quite carefully. That's a shower. I bought that for $200 because it's dirt cheap. Someone was selling it because they're getting rid of it out of the way. So I bought it. I said, yep, that'll do. That'll do for the renovation. And this, I'm not sure about this big fella here. This big hairy hippie tree. It's a weeping willow, which I love weeping willows, but I've kind of accidentally planted it in the wrong place. There was only one there, but then the fencers came along and they chopped that down. Everyone's chopping stuff down here with the chainsaws. It drives me mad. There's another oak. And they chopped it down there. Of course, they left the bits in the wet mud there, and you don't need much planting of willows. They'll grow anywhere, as long as it's wet. So we've now got 10 trees instead of 1. Like whatchamacallit, the baddies in Captain America. Cut off Hydra, that's it. Cut off one head and 2 more shall appear. Something like that. Not really a nerd. I only pretend to be a nerd. Don't I, Lula? Go on. Get the birds. Go on. Get them. Get them. Get the birds. Go on. Pretty rough here, isn't it? Oh, I need a mini digger here just to flatten it all out and think about where we're going to pour the concrete. This is what you do when you've got stuff. So a couple of months ago we replaced a toilet in someone's house, and of course I've got to get rid of it. And all right, I'll just smash it up, put it in a hole in the floor in the road. There's a hole. smash the toilet up, put it in the in the hole. You wouldn't think that's a whole toilet, but it is. Hey Lula, get them, get the birds. This way, Lula, this way. Come on, this way. Get them. Oh God, he's useless. Okay. Right, I think that'll be it. It's Pina coming out with us again. I like seeing these two play with each other. They're quite funny. The previous cats were terrified of Lula. And this little tiny kitten here, she doesn't give a shit. She just bashes her. If Lula gets too close to her, she bashes her. Hey girl. Alrighty, better go. See you later. Subscribe. And here is the guilty party. Look at that. See, there's the ordinary spark plug. That bit at the front. And then that piece of steel sticking up out the back. The mechanics took the spark plugs out and went, ooh, there's something in the spark plug there. They've put another one back in it, so they've blocked the hole up for me, but we can only assume that that piston has got some serious damage in it. For it to have jammed that piece of piston ring up into the inside of the spark plug, something violent went on in that place. Okay.